History Inside a Nutshell, the show where we sail into our port of call discussing maritime history. Today's video needs no introduction, but we are going to be focusing on a submarine, which is quite a change from what we usually do on this channel. But before we get into it, I want to give a big huge shout out to DK for narrating the video. DK has been on my channel before, but he also runs his own YouTube channel, and a link to it will be in the description box down below. Again, if you would like to join my Discord group, I will leave a link in the description box down below as well. And until then, I will leave you in the capable hands of DK, discussing about this particular submarine that helped Robert Ballard to discover the Titanic.
The USS Thresher, the atomic submarine of the North Atlantic. In the summer of 1985, Dr. Robert Ballard, the man who discovered the RMS Titanic, was given a task from the Navy to find two submarines that sank in the North Atlantic. Ballard was given the task as the Navy wanted to study them to see how nuclear materials and how weapons fared in the ocean over time, and they affected the environment on their resting sites. However, this was a top-secret mission as the Navy were concerned about being followed by a Russian satellite. So, Ballard said, recalling from what the Navy instructed him, "We need a cover story," we said. "Let's tell them I'm going after the Titanic." One of these submarines was the USS Thresher, or the SSN 593, an atomic submarine that was the first of the Thresher class, but she was the second submarine to use the new teardrop hull design to maximize speed underwater. Because of this, she could run more quietly and dive deeper to destroy other submarines that were built for the Soviet Union. She was also built with new technology and could stay underwater, not having to require an efficient hull shape for when raising to the surface. Like the other Thresher-class submarines, she was the first to use the new, stronger HY-80 steel alloy. She was 270 feet long, would displace 4,369 tons underwater, and could travel more than 30 knots. The keel of the USS Thresher was laid in May of 1958 and was launched on July 9, 1960 from Portsmouth Naval Yard in New Hampshire. And following her launch, she was commissioned in August of 1961. Following her launch, the Thresher conducted lengthy sea trials in the Western Atlantic and Caribbean Sea areas between 1961 and 1962. These trials included exercises in using her new equipment. However, she had experienced technical difficulties, including a broken backup diesel generator and a damaged ballast tank after being accidentally struck by a tug. After a long process, the Thresher was recertified and undocked on April 8, 1963. On April 9th, the Thresher departed from Kittery, and with the Navy rescue ship, the USS Skylark, or the ASR-20, the two submarines traveled out to the North Atlantic Ocean to begin initial post-overhaul dive trials. While traveling underwater, Thresher conducted a trim dive test, surfaced, and performed a second dive to half of its 1,300-foot test depth. In the evening, the Thresher submerged overnight, and at 6:30 a.m. on April 10th, she continued to conduct drills 220 miles east of Cape Cod, Massachusetts. All was well until 9:13 a.m. The Skylark, who participated in the drills, received a communication via underwater telephone from the Thresher saying the crew was experiencing minor problems. Trying to communicate with the Thresher, Skylark couldn't pick up any messages, and at 9:18 a.m., the Skylark picked up sonar images hearing mysterious air-rushing noises and saw the Thresher breaking apart while sinking to the bottom of the sea. She sank with the loss of all of the 129 crew. Despite the events that had occurred, a 15-ship search operation, the Navy declared the Thresher lost at sea the following day. On the 12th, President John F. Kennedy ordered the flags be flown at half-mast. A naval court of inquiry launched an investigation into the sinking. In conclusion, it was revealed that a leak in the silver braze joint in the engine room had caused a short circuit in critical electrical system. Because of this, there was no time to bring the Thresher to go up to the surface and evacuate. As a result of the disaster, fundamental changes has been initiated which included forced improvements in the design and quality control of submarines. It also forced the Navy to enroll tighter inspections, safety checks, and tests. In June, the Navy launched the U.S. Navy's Submarine Safety SubSafe program to provide maximum assurance of watertight integrity and recovery capability of a submarine. Although the USS Thresher isn't remembered for its own story, the submarine had taught the Navy how to provide safe submarines and introduce tighter security checks. Even during the Cold War, having a safe nuclear submarine was the Navy's highest standards. However, it is most known for being the first out of the two submarines that helped Dr. Robert Ballard find the wreck of the Titanic. From what he learned about the Thresher's wreckage, Ballard learned the pieces of the debris form a line on the seabed from the lightest object to the heaviest, which is the bulk of the vessel's hull. Ballard thought that from this, the pieces of debris would be a circular pile of stuff. An important observation, which allowed him to follow the debris trail to discover the Titanic.
If you enjoyed this episode, please like and subscribe for future videos. Until next time, this has been History Inside a Nutshell, departing from the dogs. Thank you so much for all of your support and enjoy the rest of your voyage.